September is here, people. What to do? So, what is happening? We're back to work. It's a reality. And even if we had a really atypical summer in the Netherlands, I'm still in Colombia waiting to go back to the Netherlands actually. We had a really atypical summer, but the reality is that we're back to work, and September is going to be dedicated to the whole thing about how to go back to work, what are we going to face, how to get ready and take the best out of the summer outcome, or at least you guys in the Netherlands had the chance to walk around and to meet people. So good for you, people. I'm Maria, co-founder at 7 Days to Go. And together with more than 40 experts, we have something called the Expert Pool, this little logo that you see there that has a little floating element, lifesaver, that is basically it. So we gather knowledge, and what we want to do is to bring the best of our experts, simplified with good and fun communication, for you to have something for your business to move forward, to make things happen without abracadabra jawara from many different types of experts. Today, we have the first event in a while with a human resources girl. She's all about human resources and well-being. She's also from Colombia. Her name is Sol Martinez, and together we're going to be drinking coffee because it's Colombian morning right now. It's 10 a.m. here. Nice Colombian Americano. And she's drinking water already. I already did this checking. And she's in the UK. She's in England now. So I'm going to introduce you to her, and we're going to have a live Q&A, live for a reasons, people. So I'm posting now this little message here, so everybody can see it now, Facebook and YouTube, that you should join the conversation by asking questions, please. We want it to be interactive. So with that said, we're going to talk about back to work, how to keep it balanced, with Sol Martinez coming right up. Yeah.
Hello, Maria.
Hey, how are you?
I'm
We need
very
to make it fun, right? Like, coming back to work should be a fun event.
yes.
Definitely. Yeah?
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Nice that you accepted the invitation. Nice that we're opening this month together. And yeah, nice that you have a short name. If I will put my whole name there, down it will be like Maria Lucia Bermudez, so it will maybe not fit in the screen. So it's good that you have short name.
That's the short version.
So can you hear me? I don't know if everything's going good. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yes, you can hear me. Sometimes internet happens, it's a little bit stuck. So, but okay, we have prepared some questions. We have also questions open for the audience and everybody who's watching now. Also, everybody who's going to watch this later, please post your questions via comments, yeah? Because today's session is going to be all about how to get back to work and what are we going to face now after, Corona happened. That's it. So maybe we can start with a little introduction about yourself and the topic that we have prepared for today, and then we can go through some questions and, of course, wait for everybody to join the conversation. So, tell us.
Well, when you asked me to do this, to have this nice coffee, I was thinking the best way to probably introduce our ideas was thinking about this new reality as an opportunity to reconnect, not just as individuals, but also employees with their companies. So I would like to, it was very interesting for me to think about the word nostalgia.
I put it like summer nostalgia.
Yes, and it was a very interesting analogy, actually, because usually what happens is after the summer, we have this nostalgic because we've been having probably some days outside with people, with our family, traveling, doing different activities, and that's why we feel nostalgic about. Right. This year, for instance, is a bit different because we had a pretty weird summer. So even though it's a new situation, we are feeling kind of that nostalgia in a way. So probably many people at the moment are feeling nostalgic, thinking about back to work because they are missing already this time that they have with their families at home and these activities. As you might seen, many people learn new skills, new things, explore
Yeah.
activities during the lockdown, and now they are about to change again that dynamic. Says always this sentiment of nostalgia.
That's true.
However, I
And
think
actually, we can even extend it to the whole year because people were also feeling like the whole summer happened and it was not the real summer where you normally have all the concerts and the festivals and the traveling around, and that's something like, oh, we missed out a lot, we missed out a lot of things that are normally part of our daily day life. So we just suddenly go back to work. It's like, boom.
definitely, yeah, that's the other, actually, the flip side as well, to the people that was like, oh, hang on a minute, I didn't have any summer. I didn't have any real summer. So yeah, that's another sentiment. Like I said, there are lots of feelings regarding this situation. So just to give you a number, 45% of employees in Europe feel anxious about going back to work for different reasons.
Yeah.
This was run by the CIPD, which is the HR body here in the UK, but they track different countries in Europe. So it's very interesting because people need to get back to work, some of them, but many of them are reluctant because they have found that flexibility
Yeah.
suits them. And also some of them have different situations with their families, or they don't have, no, they have themselves situation with their health, or different preferences as well. So we have to bear in mind that, and companies have to be mindful of those concerns: stress, anxiety, concerns about finances, well, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity also to take these feelings and reconnect with employees.
Well, this whole month we're dedicating like the whole month about going back to work, how to keep the nice things that you normally have out of a period of summer or a period of holiday or rest or change of scenario. How can we translate that to what we normally do? And especially in our context at 7 days to go, we're working with entrepreneurs, with startups, with scale up, with people that need to wake up every morning thinking like, yay, I know exactly why I get out of bed. So it's even more challenging when you are your own boss, when you are maybe a solo entrepreneur and you're thinking, oh my God, I need to put myself out there again. And I am the person giving that energy to everybody else. I'm the one inspiring people on a regular basis. So I was actually chatting about this with my family today. Like, what will happen if one day I lose my motivation? Because normally I am, the person who is moving things within my own company as the founder. And then you have this vision and this kind of spiritual role of being there for people, and keeping things together rolling. So I also think it's quite challenging in the case of entrepreneurs, when there's one or two co-founders thinking, okay, let's do this, let's go for it. And even many people didn't even take their summer holiday, like that they just went straight creating their own business or reinventing their own business in times of crisis. So yeah, it has been a hard year for everybody. And in that sense, it can be even more challenging now to go back to work. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, you've said many important aspects. So I want to probably focus on what we can keep from holiday or a normal holiday. So usually after we've been in holidays, we are very motivated. Holiday reduce stress, makes us more creative, more mind sharper. But this is something that we usually keep. So that's something that we need to bear in mind. However, during these challenging times, like you said, we have learned many more things. So I just want to be very concise with one of the things I consider very important from the individual's point of view. Regarding to the companies. So for individuals, I think it's the ability, we need to keep that ability to set up our boundaries.
Yeah.
So this is very important because during the lockdown transition, we we learn important things about us and the way we work. And we must try to find a way to add them in our normal routines or keep them. So to give you an example, restful breaks. Usually at work, we're too busy to have our breaks. But while people have been working from home, they have been more conscious about the importance of have those. And actually, even if it's just 15 minutes or during the day, it's very important because we feel more productive. So we need to make sure we keep those, put them on our calendar, and educate everyone about those important habits, healthy habits that we have learned.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, this is because we've been more considerate to us in terms of well-being through this very important transition. For companies, I think it's important to keep redefining the working patterns. So what I mean is companies have to be open-minded and flexible enough to understand the new ways. So some employees are going to keep working from home, like in the Netherlands. Well, the government has advised that if they can work from home, they should still doing so. Some of them are going back to the headquarters, but some of them are going to face this hybrid new structure. So some of them are going to be from home, some of them physically. So this is basically a new way that companies have to be completely open about and actually encourage. We cannot go back to the old way or the normal way of working. We need to be open and keep these new ways and new patterns of working, because that is also connected with the resilience that we've been talking about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's in part.
I like it. I find it interesting that you do like the distinction between the role of the employee and the role of the employer. You know, or also if you are entrepreneur, you are sometimes both. Sometimes you do execution and it's your own business, so you need to kick your own ass. You know, and say I have to put myself out there no matter what. So I think it's really interesting to see what remains, you know, after such period, and that you also point out on the fact of facing a new reality or facing the possibility of having part of, you know, of your employees working remotely, or like even switching position to be a company that is 100% remote because maybe you like it a lot. You know, it's happening a lot that people are like staying remote, and I think that the corona crisis was a free test. You know, when you have a trial a trial period, that is the corona crisis for a lot of people who learned exactly when it's necessary to meet, when it's necessary to have that physical interaction, and what to do with it, you know, to take the best out of when we meet or when we do something face to face, right?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. So moving forward, like about the aspect of the holiday period that you can keep on a regular basis from both perspectives. You were mentioning like for employees and employers. You know, what will be like if we just point them out? What will be the aspects that you think that are really important to that you can think I can do something with it? You know, that I can keep something of this in my day to day job. Yeah, or regular.
Well, I think it's important to, in order to keep balance, which is our main objective with this, is coffee.
Mm-hmm.
With I think it's important to see like those. Everyone is different. Like everyone is a different world completely, but there are some common grounds that we need to take, or we should consider. I want to give you some takeaways.
Okay.
Individuals and the companies as well, because I think it's important. Like you said, most of us, we are a startup as well, so we understand that it's very important to have both sides of the history of the story. Sorry. So from individuals, from a very interesting book called Life Skills. This is from Erin Summit. She said how important it is to top and tell your day, but more importantly, set up your days, top your day. what it is about that is recognizing that we have control and agency of our days. So we can put the energy you want to bring to the day, right? So we don't know, we can't control the unforeseen events during the day, but we can control how our day starts. So here,
Mm-hmm.
of course, like I say, everyone is different. For some people, meditation is a good way to start the day. For some people, it's just going out to have some sunlight, to have a bit of fresh air. For some people, it's exercise. So everyone has different ways, but the recommendation is to put attention and be aware of what you do when you set up your day, how you set up your day. Another important takeaway is for many people that are working from home is to set up and dedicate space for work. Why this is so important? Because that creates this boundaries or these boundaries with the rest of the people that are at home. So if they know you're there in that space, they're gonna respect you're busy working. But it's also good for you to kind of change your mind. So okay, I finished my work, now I move to another space. And here, well, I can talk a lot about the things that are important when you set up your workspace at home. But I want to call your attention, particularly like put around you plants, sunlight, clothes is very important as well. Also, we've seen recently a lot of complaints about back pain because
Yeah.
of posture. We
Uh-huh.
don't have at home sometimes the right equipment, so it's important to bear in mind all of these consequences of not having a dedicated space. So where it's possible, just try to make it healthy in a healthy way.
Mm-hmm.
And third, this is from another very interesting book. It's called The Mind Medic, and
Oh.
it's from a Dr. Sarah Bora, and she dedicated a whole chapter about faulty thoughts. What are faulty thoughts? Are these kind of irrational thoughts that we all have all the time that are usually based on non-evidence, but they are there because it's easy for us as human beings to go for the negative rather than the positive.
Mm-hmm.
So she recommends to build our own conversation, rational conversation with these thoughts and say, okay, I know you're there, so now show me the evidence. No,
Uh-huh.
this is not true because usually it's about future events. So usually
Mm.
there's nothing real. It's just
Mm-hmm.
our mind playing ourselves.
That's my mind. Yeah.
So it's important to recognize and challenge them. That's something that I consider very important because mental health right now is a big problem
Yeah.
for us. So yeah, it's one of the things I wanted to underline. For organizations, I think, well, basically is to bring a safe environment. So many people are, like I said, anxious about going back to work. One of the reasons is because they feel they don't know what behavior expect from their colleagues. They feel that maybe it's not the safest environment. Well, people are concerned, so workspaces have to provide this reconfiguration of the space, the protocols, all the design for employees to be safe. And also the support in terms of mental health, like I've said. And in this regard, a well-being strategy, solid well-being strategy, is needed. So we talk a lot about well-being, and particularly now we have this more human-centered perspective because what we have to sleep. So now is a great opportunity to establish a more sophisticated, more specific well-being program tailored for our needs. For individuals to take responsibility and accountability of their well-being as well.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I think for companies it's important to maintain remote working as much as possible.
Of course.
Yeah, this is key. Is key. It's very important because we have to understand that. Yeah, many people are struggling. Are struggling with here. For to give you an example, here in the UK, schools are back to their normal
Mm-hmm.
way because students, well, are back to school, but the normal time is from 9 to 3, and usually parents have this possibility to leave their kids in the after school clubs, or but they are not on at the moment. So of course it doesn't fit the normal time of a job. So it's important to bear in mind that many people are struggling, and companies need to understand and support with compassion and empathy.
That's the thing. That in an ideal world, everybody will get this. It sounds like common sense. It sounds like the duh. Of course, we need to adapt to new changes and everything. But
Mm.
depending on who you are, you have a more strict or flexible structure in your mind or on how you organize your time. And I know a lot of people that will just freak out by not having a separate space, or will just freak out if everything is not happening at the same time every day. Yeah. So depending on who you are, this is of course translated to your own reality and how you build something new. But in the end, it's about making the best decisions for yourself. Like, you know what is best for you. You know what is best for your own company. So the most important thing is to know what works for me, and that comes to decision making. So I also had a question about, when you take all these values, all these things that you get, like positive vibes from summer, and then you translate it to how to make better decisions about your work, about your career, about your own company. Like, how is this a good input? Because of course, when you're more relaxed, you can have a clearer vision. Sometimes in moments of stress, you will see everything blurry. It's like that. It's like, whoa, you're just trusting that it goes good because you don't see it through. So I think that summer, in a way, is the perfect metaphor for a clear space. Like a clear space and like a white canvas where you can start from scratch, and that also can be seen as an opportunity for you to say, now that I have something new, what to do with it. Because you can say, I will push myself to make this and that goal happen between now and December. Or you can say, well, it has been a tough year, I will just see what is the minimum things I have to do and just keep it really zen and chill.
Yeah,
So when it comes to what comes next in terms of decision making, what is your opinion about it? Like, how this can help us make better decisions, because we had a huge pause maybe, throughout the year.
definitely. Well, I think for everyone, this time is been a time to reflect, to see
Mhm.
where we are in terms of our careers. So in essence, like you said, everyone is different. Everyone has a different perspective, and for some people it has been harder than for others. And yeah, we have this big spectrum or possibilities. Um, However, in terms of individuals, I think it's a great opportunity to kickstart our careers in different ways. So we've seen people that have to adapt to new ways. Like, for instance, my husband, to give you an example, he's a commercial director, and he was used to travel all the time because his responsibility is to look after Europe, and he has to travel all the time from the UK to different cities like Spain, Italy. Suddenly, he was not able to travel.
Mm.
Therefore, he had to adapt and change the way he was used to yeah, just have different conferences, well, online, and try to make it work from the distance.
Yeah. But
That
that was kind of like it can be seen like a drama. It can be seen like, oh my God, what I'm going to do now. But it can also be a breakthrough in terms of, oh, now that I don't have to do all this traveling, what can I do then? Not only about how I can execute my job or whatever, my tasks, but
Mhm.
also, wow, now I don't have to commute. So maybe I get this extra time that he could easily use to put back to work on any other task or just spend time with you, for example. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah.
It can also be a driver to make different decisions or better decisions, because when you are really at the office all the time, or you're kind of a workaholic, of course when you have time it's more time to work. It's automatically like, oh, now I can do more things, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, especially in the Netherlands, there's like we're in the top global top of work life balance, because of that, because Dutch people know when to start work, when to stop work, and then they just go and grab the beer in any terrace, and that's it. So when that happens, when that's the, how do you say that, the accepted reality, that is a like an agreement, a social agreement, then it's easy to say, yeah, what am I doing? I'm not in the US, for example, that is really appreciated to work 24/7, or say that you're a business that goes 24/7. Yeah, it's,
Yeah,
it's the Netherlands where you have somebody at like 4:50 or 4:55. Why are you doing that? You're not, wrapping up, wrapping it up. So it's really cool, because also your environment influences a lot on how you behave around work and what you think work is, right?
definitely, definitely, I agree with you. So yeah, it's always about to try to find the silver lining in every situation. So
Yeah.
yeah, now many people are developing new skills, which is another very very interesting topic,
Yeah.
because that's another
It's
example.
cool.
Very
A lot of
very
people were like maybe not happy with their work. They're like, oh, I'm in this position since forever, or like it didn't. I don't feel that I'm moving forward, and then learning a new skill or getting new certifications was the way. Like I had a friend working as well with Dutch government, and suddenly he was like feeling stuck. And now during this whole time, he was taking a special license to learn how to pilot drones. So now he's an official certified drone pilot. And he's like, whoa, this is amazing. Like for him, it gave him all the energy that I haven't seen him have like for years. So
definitely,
sometimes this is this just the switch that we all needed, right?
definitely, yeah, yeah. I agree with you. Some people are suddenly made redundant, so they are like, okay, I was used to do this. Now I don't have a job. I need to look for something different. And some people, you know what? It's been very interesting that many people have actually started to see more the sense of community. So many people have been more willing to help others and
Yeah.
just volunteer with different
I
projects.
mean, there was like a Facebook group that in less than 24 hours gathered everybody who was wondering what to cook during quarantine times. It was like 200 members in like 20, less than 24 hours. Everybody sharing their recipes, what to cook or how to make it less boring or whatever, because many people don't even have time to cook. So suddenly you have time to cook and be creative around the kitchen and think what to do in one pot in less than half an hour or whatever. And people are learning a lot from each other. I think that there's this whole pandemic and this whole thing, that happened between summer and now, has brought or introduced like little by little like new rituals and new routines to keep its balance, because of course it's not doable to just work 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 work. So let's talk about it. Let's like we have like 2 minutes to go. So if you want to ask anything, anybody who's watching right now, please post your question, because we're wrapping it up and we're going to talk about the house. Like, okay, we acknowledge that things have changed substantially this year. We know that some things will never come back to any normal or reference of normal that we used to have. Now that is all about creating new habits, and new habits are built up by repetition, by creating new rituals and routines. How we can create or introduce slowly but surely those routines to keep it balanced. Like, no, it's not about holiday or workaholic. It's about the whole mix, the whole cafe latte, between everything that we do. So let's talk about this. Create, like, how can we create these new rituals and routines to keep things more balanced?
Well, I think it's very important, like you said, for companies to be open to listen to their employees, for instance, because like we were talking, many people have actually have been more aware of what is important for them. And from that question, they have learned new things, like the rest, the breaks that we were talking about, like having these hobbies is important for them, having exercise is important for them. So all those new things have to be included in our new normal. It's part of this transition, like you said, it's very important to keep the same flow.
I lost you for a moment.
Oh, is that right now? Hello? 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 Can you?
Hey. Yes, now you're back. I lost you for a moment.
Okay.
Yes. So we're talking about routines.
Yeah. So all of those routines, organizations have to be open to listen to their employees, to put those in place. And just like I said, it's important to set up the boundaries and stick to it. So if it's important for me as a person to keep this way, this new way, it has to work for the company as well. So now we need to look at individuals instead of just looking to the organizational benefits. We need to look more through the employees and their needs.
Yeah. Well, and I think also that standing for who we are as a community of experts, sharing knowledge is really important. I think that just to find spaces and opportunities to share the new knowledge, to share everything you have learned from this period of time, that will be also a way to energize your own team, to bring something new to the table instead of keeping it to yourself, you know? I'm sure that people chit chat a lot and, you know, like share these things informally, but also as the boss or the company to create this space for people to share beyond work. That is something really important because it will be a new way to get to know each other, you know, to get to know what do you do, how do you face the whole crisis, how did it happen in your house or in your, you know, how do you adapt your place, and you will make fun if you just take a photo of everybody's remote work right now, like how people set up their space. People will laugh about it, you know, because it's all about how you make it work for yourself. Some people will be happy to work standing. Some people will be happy to take like active pauses every half an hour or 5 minutes, you know? So it's good to share all these type of things as part of a common ritual that you can also have as a team, not only as an individual, I think.
Definitely. So in that regard, it's important to talk about collaborative spaces. So we have to bear in mind that we are social. That's our nature.
Yeah.
So people are missing that, missing socializing, or missing just interacting, changing ideas. So it's important for companies to think of those collaborative spaces, well, in the safe health and safety umbrella, but also encourage those virtual spaces, like you said, like, okay, what can we share?
Yeah.
Do we have the same hobbies, or do we have something in common, or how we can get together to create this project, this social project in our local community? There are many ways to encourage work, well, teamwork.
Or teamwork around it. Yeah, that's true. And I want to invite everybody who's watching and will be watching this video later to think about it, to think about how to make a difference, how to make even a little difference, than having your own ritual to grab a coffee every morning, or make that in a different way. Just reflect on how you go through your day and think how to spice it up. Basically, so it keeps happening in a connection with a fun feeling. I mean, work should be fun. Should be fun. Should have been having fun at work, right? And it's good to keep us accountable. So I also will post after this, after we wrap it up now. I will just post in comments a way that you can connect with Sol and book a free consultation with her about how to keep it happening. You know, like not only how to make the changes, but how to keep yourself accountable. Because the easiest is to self-sabotage. You know, the easiest is to say I'm going to do this from now on, and the next week is over. You know, it never happened. So I think it's important to have this promise to ourselves, this commitment towards ourselves about balance. Say I'm going to finalize this year in a more balanced way, thinking more about my health, thinking more about the relevance of my relationships, because in the end, this is two things that we really learned from this year. So, and that we can translate into our daily life. So I really want to thank you for the time, and also invite everybody to book a one-on-one with you to continue the conversation in this really interesting and relevant topic. Thank you, Sol.
Thank you very much, Maria.
Thank you, Sol, for this. And well, I hope that during this whole month, September, we're going to continue digging into the whole topic about work-life balance, about giving you the right tools to continue. So every Monday at 5 a.m. Netherlands, 10 a.m. Colombia. Well, you adapt the time zone, but you can just hang up.
Okay.
Drinking coffee, yes, exactly. So all the time we're going to do this as a ritual. We say we're going to do it. It was triggered by the Corona crisis, but we will continue hosting our coffee breaks with our experts, and we're going to basically go really 360 around all the challenges and about how to do it. So we're going to have next week a meeting with our, coach about that, about how what to keep or what elements about summer can we really keep. We're going to talk about workspace at home. We're going to talk about many different fun, topics about how to transition in the best way possible. That's it, with the help of experts. That's it. Thank you all for your time. Have everybody a nice week, an amazing month. And yeah, keep us posted via comments if there's any topic that you want us to consider to include into our recipe of every coffee break. Let us know. We're here to listen and to help you out exactly like that. Thank you so for that.
Thank you very much, Maria, for having me, and all of you.
Yes, thank you. Ciao, ciao. Bye.